Alrighty guys, and welcome to my deck analysis for TG Agents. In the next 30 or so minutes, I'm going to go in extremely, very in-depth detail explaining just why and how I use every one of the cards in my deck. Mainly kind of for people that want to play agents, they don't really know how, or people that already play agents and they might learn something about him that they don't already know, and for myself, so I can get feedback from you guys to just see if I'm actually doing it all the right way, because I've only been playing for 2 months, and any tips that I get will be very appreciated. So let's just go into the deck analysis, shall we? Alright. Vanillas, I run 6 of them because they're amazing. Not really. They are amazing though. Alright, on to the deck analysis. Alright, let's start off with the staples and the agents. I'm not going to go into too much detail about these, but I'll go ahead and explain how I use them. Hyperion, you can remove an agent from the field, hand, or grave to summon it from on the field, and you can remove one fairy from the graveyard to pop a card on the field. This card is very good. It's an obvious staple at 3 in agents in all agent decks. How I use it personally is I drop it on the field, it gets bottomless, torrential, or whatever, and I call priority and pop a card. That's really the only use I have for it, because it literally dies. It gets mirror forced, it gets torrential, bottomless, warning, judgmented the second it touches the field. So I just throw it down, priority, pop a card, and then it's done its value to me. Next is Earth. Earth is always a very good first card to pull in your starting hand. I personally like Earth more than Venus in a starting hand because I really don't like going into Venus on first turn, because it seems like your opponent just has so much crap in their hand up from their draw that they're just going to nuke your whole field. Like, they'll just dark hole every turn, it seems like, on the first turn. So I like Earth to search out a Venus, and also you can use Pot of Duality in combination with it, which is also very good. So that's why I like Earth in my starting hand. Yeah, it's also a staple. If you don't know what it does, you put it on the field. When it's normal summoned, you can search one agent from your deck that isn't the same card as this and add it to your hand. Next is 3 Venus. Venus is the staple. Well, Venus is the engine of the deck that drives the car into the building that makes it explode. The way I use Venus is if I have like a werewolf in my hand or something. Well, I should probably explain that when I get to werewolf, but Venus is very good. A lot of people go into 3 shine balls when they summon Venus. I don't. I personally only go into 2 shine balls. So I can go into Gachi Gachi, and depending on if I have a werewolf in my hand or not, I can go into more combos, but mainly just I use Venus to go into 2 shine balls and Gachi Gachi, because Gachi Gachi is the ultimate stall card. I'm trying to set everything up on the outside over here. Alright. Next is 3 shine balls for Venus. There's not much explaining need to be done, except I have seen people that only run 2, and it makes me want to kill them, because you're being extremely stupid if you don't run 3, because this is like the main card in the deck. Also, people only run 2 Venus. It doesn't make any sense. I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to hurt you. Getting to the TG part of the deck, 3 Warwicks. They're Warwicks. Look at their artwork. Look at that artwork. It's a Warwick. Get over it. I go into, if you get Venus and Werewolf in your hand at the same time, you can throw down Venus. Throw down Venus. You use their effect twice, preferably. Go into that. Then you use Werewolf's effect to special summon him on the field. Because when he's, you can special summon him from your hand when a level 4 or lower monster is special summoned from the field, on the field. And that's including your opponent's special summon or your special summon. So it could be your opponent's first turn, and they special summon, I don't know, Dandelion tokens, and you could pop down Warwick. And then I go into Gachi Gachi with my shine balls, and I'll usually attack with Venus and attack with Werewolf, and then main phase 2 I'll go into Zen Mines or Levier, depending on how my out of grave looks like, or my remove from play. If I've already used BLS, then I probably have like a Sangen or another Werewolf in remove from play, so I'll go into Levier and bring him back out in the field. So Sangen can have his search, and Levier can be Levier. Very good card. I don't even know why a lot of people should be running it no matter what, really. In my opinion, I think it's a good card in almost any deck. Especially now with Exceeds, where you could easily go into a 3 in combination with stuff. Man, the lighting is bad. Touche TG Striker. I just got this one from a 10. Very happy. I got the other one is waiting for me at my local, so I just need to pick it up. TG Striker is potentially just a Cyber Dragon. If your opponent has a card on the field, then you can special summon it from your hand. Well, if they have a monster card on the field and you don't, you can special summon it from your hand. It's a level 2 tuner monster. It also goes in good chain with Werewolf. You can special summon this on your hand, and that counts as the one level 4 or lower monster that Werewolf needs to be special summoned. So you can special summon him, and you can sync for Wonder Magician. Use her effect to pop a card on the field, pop a back row, and depending on what your other field looks like, this is also a level 5 tuner monster, so you can easily sync up again with it. God, I'm sick right now. Oh, that's getting in the way. Alright. Next is Tragodia. I find that people really aren't running Tragodia in TG Agents, but their loss, I suppose, because Tragodia is pretty much a staple, and it should be a staple in almost every deck out right now, because Tragodia is godly. When you take battle damage, you can special summon him on the field. He can become the level, like the main reason he's good is he can become the level of one of the cards in the graveyard, so you can easily exceed with him, easily. And also, sorry guys, also you can discard a card, and you can discard a card with the same level as one of your opponent's monsters, and you can take control of their monster forever, not just for one turn. It's yours. And believe it or not, Hyperion has taken, I've discarded Hyperion, thrown to the grave to take my opponent's BLS. That was an amazing, amazing play, and it made me extremely happy that Tragodia was in my deck. Next is Gores. I run 1 Gores because 2 is illegal, and I would run 3 if it wasn't, because Gores is amazing. And yeah, when you take no damage, when you take damage and you have no cards on the field, you can special summon it from your hand, and you get a token for the amount of damage that you took. Really useful in this format because, like if you saw my other video, my deck profile video, you know that I only run 1 trap card, so my back row is very minimal. So if you're just out of cards on the field, then you can always Gores. Like, there's really never been where this card was dead in my hand. I've always had use for it. If anything, you can toss it with Tragodia's effect and pick up their whatever you want, really. Alright. Running out of room here. Let me make some more room. I'm trying to keep them all separated so I can bring them back out in the explanation. Okay. Alright. Next card is Sangen. Sorry, but Sangen's going away. Next ban list, he's getting banned. So with that in mind, if you have an extremely expensive Sangen, you should probably sell it now and go with a common for until the next ban list. Because with Exceeds out and Tour Guide, he just pluses too hard. He pluses on anything really. And like I said, I throw down Sangen, I use it to search a werewolf, right? I have a Venus in my hand, and I have BLS in my hand. And it gets destroyed. It goes out of play. I got Venus, U, and BLS. Let's do this. And I have 1 Mystic Shine Ball in the graveyard, for example. Alright, that's my graveyard. Right here. So Sangen's face down defense position. He gets ran over by anything in the world. I use his effect to search a werewolf. put Werewolf in my hand, Venus down, use her effect to summon 2 Shine Balls. The Shine Balls then go, well, I chain onto her effect my Werewolf, and I turn the Shine Balls into Gachi Gachi. There. This is just, let me zoom out. Oh, that's bad. Alright. Alright. Well, I use her effect to go, I use the Shine Balls to go into Gachi Gachi. I then proceed to Exceed Summon Leviar. I should put it down this way. Alright. And then I summon BLS. For the lulz mainly. I remove from play Sengen and Mystic Shine Ball. I throw away Werewolf to bring back Sengen. Well, actually I throw away Venus to bring back Sengen. And there, you got another search with Venus. You get another search with Sengen. And the reason I brought Venus back was because now when Sengen dies, I'll have a light and a dark in the graveyard once again, so I can bring out Chaos Sorcerer if I draw it or anything, and then just bring back Sengen again with Leviar's effect. Like right now, it's very, very broken indeed. But Sengen's definitely going away. Sorry if you are offended, and you were like, "Oh no, I just bought a secret rare $400 Sengen." There's no way it's going away. I paid $400. I'm not going to own up to the fact that it's definitely going away. Well, it is. I'm sorry. Alright, let me wait for the camera to zoom. Well, auto-correct itself. Look at that Shine Ball. Look at it. Come on. Come on. Okay, this is... I don't even know where the button is. I think there's a button to autofocus. Oh. Well, it did it. Okay, cool. And where did my Shine Balls go? Okay. Alright. Next card. Chaos Sorcerer. Because, I really only use Chaos Sorcerer because you have a total of 3 Werewolves. They're dark. 2 Tragodia, Sengen, and Gore. So 7 darks in the deck. Not including your sinks. And you can go into Catastrophe so easily that pretty much counts as another one as well, if you need it. Whew. And you bring out Chaos Sorcerer, you call priority, you remove one from play 1 card on the field. That's really why I use him. He's also at 2300 beater, but I really don't use him to attack with. I really like his priority effect, so I use it. I use his priority over anything really. BLS, because it's not banned and everybody runs it, if you can ever get it out, there's no reason to never run it, because BLS, top decking BLS when you have a dark and a light in the graveyard can potentially win you the game. It's ultimately one of the best top decks in the game. That and like Dark Hole and Monster Reborn. 1 Maxi, because Maxi, I don't have 2, I want 1. You can remove it from your hand, you can toss it to the graveyard from your hand, and every time your opponent special summons this turn, you'll draw a card. So it's essentially, the way it's used is, you remove it from your hand, your opponent cannot special summon for a turn. That's pretty much how it's used. Because nobody in their right mind would ever keep special summoning when you can just draw every card that you ever need to destroy them. I want to. If you have one for trade, I'll have a trade binder up soon. So you can trade me it. Honest, because if you run anything with lights, Honest is amazing. It also allows me to go into some majorly OP bluff plays. Let's say that I draw like Effect Veiler, 3 Mystic Shine Balls, and a Maxi, and a Mystical Space Typhoon in my hand. Possibly the worst hand that you could draw in this deck. I throw down Mystic Shine Ball and face up attack position in my turn. Now their immediate reaction is, oh my god, he has the most obvious Honest I've ever seen in my entire life. When the real thing, or the fact is, I don't. I don't have any Honest. But my opponent does not know that. They're going to think that you have an Honest, so they won't attack it. So I can keep that there on the field all day long, and it will never be destroyed, because they're not going to get their monsters run over by a Mystic Shine Ball. Whew, man. Alright, next up, 1 Veiler. I promised I'd go into more detail why I run 1 in my deck profile, and the reason is because I absolutely hate the card. Like, I will murder this card if I ever see it, because Valor, I draw it every single game, and its use is very, very minimal. I can, you know, I never actually hold on to it long enough to nuke like my opponent's Trishula or something like that. It's always used on something so basic as like a Goblindenberg or something, where like you drop it down, you negate it so it doesn't special summon again, and then your opponent's just like, oh no, you negated my special summon, what am I gonna do? Oh yeah, let me just Monster Reborn it, because I have Monster Reborn every time you Effect Veiler me. And yeah, I really just don't like Effect Veiler, because I ran 2, and I literally drew one every single game on my draw phase, and it always comes in combination with like 2 Shine Balls and Effect Veiler every game. Just seriously, like, really, you're gonna give me 2 Shine Balls and Effect Veiler? No, I'm gonna get rid of 1 Effect Veiler, and that pretty much stopped the Shine Balls from coming up. So it's kind of some voodoo going on, but it's working, so I like it. Christia. Also, these next 2 cards, including Christia, I'm going to explain because I told you I would. And yeah, if there's exactly 4 fairy monsters in the graveyard, you can special summon it. And neither player can special summon one this card's on the field. It's a game winner. Yeah, that's the reason I have it in the deck. You bring it out on the field, you essentially win the game. There's really no way around it. And the best part is, it's a special summon, right? You put it on the field, you can put 1 fairy card from your graveyard to your hand. Alright, and when it's destroyed, it goes back on top of your deck. So let's say I start my turn, I have 4 fairies in the graveyard. It doesn't matter which 4. I throw down Archlord Christia. I pick up a Mystic Shine Ball from the graveyard. I then place Mystic Shine Ball in defense position. So, if they Dark Hole, if they manage to get over Christia, Christia returns to the top of my deck, Shine Ball goes back to the graveyard because they're going to destroy it. Next turn I draw Christia and do the same combo over and over again until the game's over, because there's really no way they can stop it. Plus it's at 2800 and it negates special summons. I don't really know how you're going to tribute summon for something bigger than 2800, because nobody really has something that big in their deck. You can remove it from play, you know, Mirror Force it or whatever, but like I talked about the combo with the Mystic Shine Ball and the Christia, if you destroy one, you're going to destroy the other, and it's just going to keep refreshing and over every turn until you lose. So yeah, I only run 1 because top decking, drawing 2 is terrible. You'll probably lose if you draw 2, but one seems to be fine. Next card, the VIP #1 card of this deck, Junk Synchron. Do you guys really want to know how many level 2 monsters that this deck runs, and nobody's running any Junk Synchrons? Really? Look at this. Look at this. I'm not even done. You still got Max C. Look at that. You got 3 Earth, 3 Shine Balls, Max C, and 2 TG Strikers. All of them which can be just special summoned back onto the field if you use Junk Synchron. And I'd say an average of about 95% of the time a Mystic Shine Ball's in the graveyard. And like I said before, you can just bring... This card is essentially, if you want Magical Android, I prioritize Magical Android for its heal over Catastor if I need to, because Catastor's not as big and Magical Android heals. So Junk Synchron is essentially a spell card that, if Mystical Shine Ball's in the graveyard, is special summon like 1 level 5 Synchro monster from your extra deck. That's essentially what this card is. Because you just do that, you sync for a 5, and that's pretty much an instant Magical Android. It's pretty good. I mean, a lot of people should be running it. I don't know why they're not. On to the spells. 3 MST, because I don't like back row. And that's pretty much it. I just don't like back row. And 3 Pot of Duality, because I never found a reason. Like, I never found Pot of Duality to be dead. And it's always, if I draw one and I can special summon a turn, there's always, the way agents work, in my opinion, is you can special summon, you can just blow the field up in special summons one turn, but that'll cost you you have to wait 2 turns before you can do it again, because you'd have to refresh your hand in order to get it back on the field. So those 2 turns, Pot of Duality can really speed it up. Like, it can reduce it down to 1 turn where you can explode again, or you can just get a card that you need, Heavy Storm, Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, to really just cause it to go on the go on like a rampage again. Oh, I'll be right back, guys, real quick. Hey guys, I'm sorry about that. Somebody was at my door. Where were we? Oh yeah. Okay. Next up is the staples. Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm, Book of Moon, Dark Hole, Mind Control. Staples are, nobody really needs to explain staples, I guess. So, these. And last card in my main deck is my Trapped Dust Chute. Oh, you have been there for so long for me, Trapped Dust Chute, and you've caused me to win so many games. Potentially, your opponent if your opponent has 4 or more cards in their hand, you can activate Trapped Dust Chute. It allows you to look at your opponent's hand and put 1 monster from their hand back into their deck. I love it. It's amazing. Definitely the best trap card in the game. Like, without a doubt, this format right now. And how you use it, how I use it, a lot of people say, oh, don't use Trapped Dust Chute unless you plus off of it. Well, mentally I plus off of it, regardless of when I use it. I'll set it my first turn, flip it their draw phase, and I'll know their starting hand. And I will memorize their starting hand, and I will play accordingly to what they drew on their starting hand. So that's mentally a plus for me, because now I know if they have a Mirror Force or they have a Deep Prison or Dark Hole or Monster Reborn to do their entire combo. And the monster, putting a monster back in their deck is just a plus. That's the plus part of the card. But yeah, it's really, really amazing. Especially this format when nobody is putting any of their cards down, because trap cards are essentially banned because of Heavy Storm and Mystical Space. But let's go into the extra deck now. 2 Gachi. I run 2 because I seem to be able to get onto 2 easily. With Striker, you can special summon Striker and then you go into Venus to 3 Shine Balls. You could do that. I wouldn't recommend it necessarily to do it in that order, but you could. You know, I mean, if your opponent really is going to play extremely aggressive, then it's really hard to get over 2 Gachis. But you can Striker, 3 Shine Balls, and there's your 4 stars for the Gachi. But yeah, 2 is pretty essential. 1, I found that I could get, whenever you run only 1, you'll find that you can get 2 out extremely easy, but when you run 2, you find that you don't necessarily want 2 out very easily. Next up is the Leviar. I've already talked about this card. It's very easy to get out with Werewolf and Venus. You can easily just exceed and then start refreshing your remove from play. You just start bringing everything back and just keep going in an endless chain, pretty much, especially if you play Chaos the way I do. This is not really a TG deck or a Chaos. This isn't really TG Agents or Chaos Agents. It's more of a blend, because I do play like both of them in combination, I guess, in a perfect combination. Next up is Zen Mines. Like I said before, with Werewolf and Venus, you can get a 3 out easily. When you don't have any remove from play, then you go into Zen Mines. That's the only thing, like, that's the only reason, like, Zen Mines is the go-to level 3 that you want to go into, because getting over it is a bitch and a half. Like, unless they're going to Chimera Tech Fortress you, which means they have to, like, main Cyber Dragon or know that you have one in Game 2 inside in Cyber Dragons. Either that, or you have to just run it over 3 times in 1 turn to get it off the field before its effect starts popping your entire field. But Zen Mines is broken, and that's why I run him, because he's broken. I'm so happy I got mine today. Okay. Next is Armory Arm for the greatest play ever that I ever did in my entire life. Was I was going up against an opponent. He was running zombie plants. It was destroying me. He managed out of nowhere to bring out Shooting Star Dragon. Well, I had Stardust Dragon on the field, and I had Earth on the field, right? So I had my Earth on there, and I was like, oh god, this is very bad. This is very bad indeed. So I summoned up Mystic Shine Ball, and I instantly knew that I went into Armory Arm. I then proceeded to Book of Moon his Shooting Star Dragon, equipped Armory Arm to Stardust, and run it over with Stardust Dragon. It was the greatest play I ever did. It was so magnificent, it literally blew his mind. I mean, well, literally, you can't use that term really in that scenario, but it literally, his brain exploded all over the floor. That's how awesome it was. Next up is Wonder Magician. Since you can get Werewolf out ridiculously easy, and you have a lot of you have a lot of 2 tuners, like these for instance, you can sync into Wonder Magician fairly easily. And since Wonder Magician itself is a tuner, it can resync it after you use its effect to pop one of their back row very, very easily. These cards are just a combination. My level 5s are Magical Android and Catastor. Like I said before, Junk Synchron, you can go into a level 5 ridiculously easy. Not to mention you could already go into level 5 ridiculously easy with TG Striker and special summon that on the field. You have a Venus or a Werewolf to combination it. And if you don't want to, if you already use your Wonder Magician or they don't have any back rows, there's really no reason to go into Wonder Magician. Just go into an Magical Android. I prioritize Magical Android because mainly because it heals. I just like to heal. Plus it's a 24 beater, so you can just keep attacking with it. Next up is Gaia and Bryo. Bryo is a staple in Gaia because you can go into 6s relatively easy. I've done it a lot. And when you don't need Bryo, then you go into Gaia. That's really the only scenario that I use Gaia. Because I don't want to use Bryo just because he's a 23 beater. I want to use him because my opponent has 2 synchro. They have a Trishula and Stardust on the field, and I want to blow them back into their deck. Next is Ancient Sacred Wyvern and Black Rose. Black Rose for its nuke. Only reason it's in the deck. Ancient Sacred because if you manage to get this out in combination, first turn, right? Use Hyperion's effect, pop their card. They have no cards on the field, and you know for a fact they don't have Gores in their hand. Well, it doesn't matter. Let's just say they don't have Gores in this scenario. So you attack with Hyperion to do 2700. That puts them instantly at around 53. So that gives him 2700 more. So he's at 4800 right now, and you attack with him, and you pretty much instantly do about 7k plus damage to them in 1 turn of attack. And if you manage to have anything left on the field, if you have your normal summon Sangan left, you attack with Sangan, it's game. Literally, just game over. Really stupid in combination, but I've used it. I've misplayed it so hard so much that I just don't really like it anymore. I know this is really bad, but I've had 4,000 life points and my opponent's 8,000, and I brought it out on the field thinking that we're both 8,000 and I was going to do that combo because I don't pay attention enough, but, you know, experience will come. Okay, next is Stardust Dragon because it's a staple. I can bring it out relatively easy with the 3 Shine Balls and TG Striker or Earth. And Scrap Dragon, if for mainly just to win the game, I use him. I like going into Stardust more preferably because it's safer. It's harder to get over. But Scrap Dragon, if they only have 1 card on the field, they have like 1 back row, and they have no cards in their hand, and you just want to win the game, then you pop Scrap Dragon, pop anything on your field, and attack for a game with Scrap Dragon. Trishula, because it is also relatively easy to go into in this deck. You just take 2 Shine Balls, a Earth or a TG Striker, and a Venus, and you got a Trishula. Alright, that's my extra deck. My side deck is Cyber Dragon and Chimera Tick Fortress Dragon for Zen mains. It's the only reason they're in there. That and Karakuris, I suppose. Karakuris are a bitch, so I just don't like them. Gemini Imps for Dark Worlds. 2 Thunder King. In Game 2, 90% of the time, I'd side out 2 Pot of Dualities to put in 2 Thunder King. Because Thunder King is amazing, and he's extremely hard to get over from most decks. Including my own. If my opponent has a Thunder King, I really can't get over it. 2 Leeching the Light. Because since BLS is not banned this format, a lot of people are running lots of lights so they can have some chaos in their deck, and even if they didn't have light already. So I find it to be a little bit better than originally thought, where it just gets over agents. But that being said, I really only use it for mirror match, even though it is good. I mean, there's no way. You should definitely run 2. For certain situations, it can win games. If they bring out BLS and you Leeching the Light with 3 Shine Balls on the field, you've got game. There's no way of getting over that. 2 System Bounds for Karakuris, Machinima, and Gadgets. Mainly Karakuris because they're topping, and this deck has a hard matchup against Karakuris, so I just side lots in for Karakuris to prevent that matchup. Mirror Force and Torrential. I don't think I'll ever side for them, but they're there if I need them. And 2 Dust Tornadoes for mainly DDs, I guess. Yeah, that's really the only way I've used them before, is I sided into them for DDs because my opponent played DDs and I was aggravated. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching this extremely long 30-minute deck analysis of TG Agents. I hope you've learned something, anything at all, really. But if you didn't, then I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope I made it interesting enough that a lot of people watch to the end, but I doubt it. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll make sure to come out with some more videos and give me some ideas for the deck to improve it. Tell me if this deck helped you out. That'd make me pretty happy. And thanks for watching, and peace.